For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 15 of the Cambridge United Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start with a home game against Northwestern team Morecambe. We recently played Carlisle from up in the Northwest. Now we play another team, but they travel to us rather than vice versa, and we'll be hoping to pick up another 3 points. Not the best of conditions, unfortunately, as we head closer and closer towards Christmas and that January transfer window, which is just around the corner, only a couple of episodes away now, before we get the chance to try and get some extra funds into the club and try and bring in some new faces as well. But Barry Ross is not going to be an easy goalkeeper to get the ball past, and a five-man defence is not going to be an easy defensive unit to get the ball past to get to Barry Ross in the first place. But we will try our best. A lot of teams in League 2, as we've discovered this year, seem to like to play a five-back defence, which is frustrating from an attacking point of view for me, but also I guess it means that we have more of a run of things in midfield, so not necessarily having to work as hard defensively, but having to work extra hard offensively. But actually we had to work quite well defensively there. Chris Dunn having to make a very, very good save from that set piece. Good free kick from them. Clearance wasn't necessarily the best, too much, or not enough elevation on it rather, but eventually we did get it clear when they fired wide. Another set piece, and this time we're playing it around a bit rather than just lobbing it into the box. Tom Champion plays through Tom Elliott. Tom to Tom, good turn inside the defender, but unfortunately the goalkeeper did very well there to keep it out. But we're still on top. Going to have another chance here. First chance of the episode so far from actual genuine open play. And then Richard Tate finds Tom Elliott again. Really good turn, get past the defender, but again this shot straight at Barry Ross, and it's a comfortable save, and we stay at 0-0. Oh look, a set piece, 29 minutes in. You can see we're having a spell of possession here between the 20th and 30th minute. Diallo's going to play a beautiful dink ball over the top to Kwesi Appiah, but somehow he doesn't quite get the shot on target. All he had to do was poke it underneath the goalkeeper, get it on target, and it was a definite goal. Unfortunately, got the poking it under the goalkeeper right, but not the on target, so we stayed at 0-0. But Diallo around the corner to Tom Elliott. This time, not the best of shots, but the referee pointed at the penalty spot. And I'll be completely honest, not really too sure why. Even after watching the replay back for a second and third time whilst editing, I just can't see where Fleming's fouled him. Tom Elliott just seems to kick the floor. There's no real... He doesn't stick a leg in. He's not got his arms on him. Tom Elliott just seems to fall over. You'll have to let me know in the comment section whether you actually saw a foul in there, because I certainly didn't, but the goalkeeper certainly didn't get anywhere near that penalty. Kwesi Appiah, I always seem to go top left with him whenever he takes a pen, and they always seem to go right into the corner of the net as well. Extremely good for him, and very good for me as well. We're bringing on a couple of defensive midfielders though, just to try and firm up and make sure we keep this 1-0 lead to the end of the game, but we're also trying to extend it if we possibly can by going up the other end. Of course, Kwesi Appiah here, as you can see, on the ball. Nice little move to get past two defenders. Does get the advantage from the free kick, but the shot away as well. But again, straight at the goalkeeper. So frustrating in this episode. We could have had 5 or 6 goals if we'd been able to find the corners of the net. But Garbut's going to whip a good cross in. Bit deep, but it does find Ryan Donaldson at the back post. Good touch by Kwesi. Again, a good turn and shot, but this time not straight at the goalkeeper, but also not on target. So we end the game 1-0. Could have been 5 or 6-0, to be completely honest, like we say. But 3 points is the most important thing at the end of the day, regardless of what the scoreline is, and that is what we got. So delighted with that, and we'll try and maintain the flowing attacking football in this game against Northampton, whilst also trying to keep a clean sheet if we possibly can. Of course, Northampton, another local rival. There are quite a few local rivals in League 2 here at Cambridge. You've got the likes of Stevenage and Northampton, like we see today, and Luton, and a couple of North London clubs as well. Also a couple, well, just quite a few clubs in London actually, including Wimbledon as well, which isn't necessarily North London, but still local-ish to Cambridge, only about an hour down the road. So plenty of local derbies. So far we've saved face very well indeed, coming out on top in the majority of the local derbies, although away from home at Sixfields is not going to be the easiest of games. They're playing a 4-4-2 though, so perhaps the two sides would kind of even themselves out, and it might be a bit more of an open game than it was against Morecambe, with them playing 5 at the back. And actually it was a bit more of an open game. Northampton were definitely more adventurous than Morecambe were in the previous, and obviously them having home advantage, you would expect that. But O'Toole with a great turn squares the ball across to Morris, Kind of finds himself in the space in between the two centre-backs, and it's a fantastic header to give them a 1-0 lead in the 19th minute. But we're straight up the other end just 5 minutes later. Tom Champion finds Diallo after receiving the ball from a throw-in into Kwesi Appiah's feet. Back out wide to Tom Champion. Lovely little fake turn there to get inside the man. Not once, but then twice with a step over. And actually, that is a very impressive finish. Rifling it down low inside the goalkeeper's near post. Genuinely was aiming for the far side of the goal. I didn't want to play that near post. Just as well the computer did it for me though. Really strong shot there inside the post. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about it. And it's 1-1. And we're still on the attack just a couple of minutes later. Robbie Simpson, nice little turn there to get the ball back to Tom Champion. Into Diallo. Beautiful ball forward to Kwesi Appiah. Step over does one. Beautiful dink inside the next, and a tidy finesse finish as well on the end of the little run. A beautiful goal from Kwesi Appiah. He's been scoring a couple of really impressive goals recently, as well as doing the business from the penalty spot recently, as well as we saw in the previous game, and that makes it 2-1 to us. In the midfield, though, the ball just kept changing hands from one team to the other. You see different teams changing possession here about 4 times before eventually Emil Sinclair is played through, and that is another exquisite finish. Taking it early, which meant that the goalkeeper couldn't settle his feet, and because he couldn't settle his feet, it meant he couldn't get the dive down towards the bottom left-hand corner where Sinclair had expertly placed it into that bottom right-hand side of the net. So we're 2-2, but we're still not done for the first half. Again, possession given away not once but twice. Tom Champion gives it away, then wins it back again. Kwesi Appiah on the attack down this left-hand side again. Beautiful turn inside, and an even better finish this time. If the build-up to his first and our second was better with the step over and then the jink to beat 2 players and a nice tidy finish, this time the finish was better than the setup. Still a good step over, but that finish is extremely good. I was really impressed with the Kwesi Appiah's deadly finishing in this game, and we needed it as well because obviously Northampton were dangerous going the other way, scoring 2. Simpson though cuts inside well himself, this time trying to make it 4, but for this shot on the left foot, just not quite what we were looking for. We stay at 3-2, although that was just after half time, so still plenty of time for this game to change. 20 minutes still to go. Riku Ring plays the ball forward to Kwesi Appiah. Great first touch to beat the man. Races away, and then a just wonderful save from Duke, and then an even better block by Cresswell, the defender, to stop us from making it 4 yet again. And we're right at the very end of the game now. Again, possession given away in the midfield. Matty Bear plays through Kwesi Appiah. Through one-on-one, tries to aim for the near post, hits the post itself, and then eventually the defender will smash it clear. But that was going to bring that game to a close. An electric first half. 5 goals in the space of 20 minutes or so. It was absolutely ridiculous. But we were able to come away with the victory again. So 6 points so far in today's episode. Delighted with that, although the third game is going to be the toughest yet. We did have the away game, which was pretty tough, although we were able to come out victorious. But Burton Albion are one of the better sides in the division, and if you remember from the away game that we played against them earlier on in the season, they actually beat me 1-0 at the Pirelli, so we need to improve here today, although I'm having to play a few rotation players. You can see Jaden Stockley up top alongside Tom Elliott this time around. Kwesi Appiah was actually just completely spent after that game against Northampton. Understandable considering the workload he put in that game, and Tom Elliott was fresh after being rested with Robbie Simpson in the starting lineup for the Northampton game. So I was hoping that we were going to improve, or if not improve, at least maintain the same level of performance that we had in the opening 2 games and get another 3 points to help try and close down the gap to Shrewsbury at the top, because every time we win a game, they win a game as well, and they are keeping their 4-point lead above us, but we are comfortably sat in second at present, and the 2 wins so far in this episode will do as much as possible to help maintain that position. Tom Elliott just races away from 2 there before just an extremely poor finish, unfortunately. Got it onto his left foot, and he's actually been pretty good for us goal scoring this season, Tom Elliott, but that time not quite getting his angles right, perhaps a little bit rusty after missing out on the game before. But Jaden Stockley involved here, hasn't seen too much football this year, on loan of course in this opening season, and drawing a good save out of the goalkeeper there. Not too much power behind it, and it was at a nice comfortable height for the goalkeeper to pluck it out of the air. But we're still on the attack. Jaden Stockley linking up with Tom Elliott again, this time going to dance around the defender and get the shot off target for a second time. That one a lot closer and on his favoured right side, but I really expected him to put that into the back of the net there, and I was genuinely really disappointed with him. We should be 1-0 up in this game by now, but a great volley at the back post is just
dramatically saved by Chris Dunn. The ball flies up in the air and takes a full 3 or 4 seconds to actually drop back down to earth, almost sending it into orbit. But we're on the attack at the other end now. It really was end-to-end this one, a really competitive game, as the first one was against Burton, that they eventually came out victorious in. But their goalkeeper McLaughlin was definitely determined not to let me score and give us a 1-0 win in this one, just like they did in the previous game. But they're on the attack, stoppage time now. Are they going to nick it just like they did in the previous one with a last-minute goal? Doyle into McCrory, heavy first touch, but a nice little back heel into Stuart Bevan. But fortunately for me, the pressure from the defender was enough to put off the striker, and we stayed at 0-0, and that was how the game ended. So we're 7 points from today's episode, which is pretty impressive considering the standard of opposition we were playing against, and I'm very pleased to have come away with that amount of points. So still only 3 points now to Shrewsbury, so the gap is closing slowly but surely, but still a long way to go in this one. 22 games still to go in League 2 this year. We're literally now just over the halfway mark, so hopefully we can continue that push further up the table. Of course, we've had a lot of games in other competitions this year, which is why it's taken us this long to get this far, but hopefully now that we only have the one competition left to focus on rather than 4, we should be able to race away towards the end of the season, and of course we'll be in the January transfer window in the next couple of episodes. So exciting things still to come. We're now 8 points, almost 9 points, 8 points inside of the automatic promotion spots ahead of Bury and Burton in 4th and 5th respectively, and then Wickham sit there in 6th with 38 points. I think the team in 7th sit there with 38 as well, so it's extremely tight in the playoff spots, but Shrewsbury and ourselves at the top are starting to open up a bit of a gap, which is exactly what we want. It's a Road to Glory series, it's a long-term project, but to get off to a great start with a promotion in this first season would help us no end. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave the video a like, as always, if you enjoyed. There was another episode of the Liverpool career mode uploaded earlier on today, so check the channel page for that if you missed it, and of course, as always, subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be links to do so in the description, as well as links to my Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and to sponsors as well with G2A and FIFA if you need any Xbox PSN codes or Ultimate Team coins. But let's bring this one to a close, shall we? Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with more Liverpool career mode and my player. Goodbye.